Welcome back to Vampyr. And to find Swansea, let's head up to the 3rd floor. Which is the first time this has actually been opened. Elevator. Okay.
Ultraviolet curtains and Ori counting powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for one.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it, just like you are.
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. Show some style. Fight like a man. Come on, Reed. Try something else. Close your eyes! This is gonna hurt. Your poisonous bite is useless on me. I know! It hurts, doesn't it?
Oh boy.
Show some style. Fight like a man. The blood of a true defender of this land will protect you.
I think so.
I know!
Oh. It'd be nice if these guys would actually listen to reason.
Close your eyes! This is gonna hurt. If you're so innocent, why does simple light burn you so much?
Come on. Come on.
We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now, for there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
It would serve him right if I turned him. But if I spare him, they just keep on coming after me. If I turn him, I am no better.
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reed. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
Oh, they must have taken him to the theater. How are we doing? Still good. I find him. I'm telling you, the district's gonna stay healthy with him alive. Heck. Oh, path. Easiest way is probably going to be cut across right there. Well, shortest way anyways. Dead end, so let's go this way. And went down the wrong road, of course. I can get us through going through them. Might as well. Was an error? No. That was dumb. Wanted to drink him, not. Oh well. Okay. Hey. Oh, that was a really good shot. Through there and across the street.
So Priwen never left Doris's theatre after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Side? Yep. Back there. Oops. Nope. Nope. Get out of that. Nope. Get that off me. Okay. Oh boy. Draining you enough I can't even regenerate. Okay. Oh, get off the rail. I should be able to knock those over.
It's locked.
Side.
It's locked, all right.
Here. Maybe down the basement. If I can remember which way to go. There. Balcony. That's actually the way they came up here. What am I missing?
I cannot enter.
Locked. Gather information. Information gather. Ah! This wasn't glowing. 11/6/18. Just finished reading Doris Fletcher's journal. As painful and dreadful as it was, the woman planned to see everyone in London afflicted by affecting all who would come to her next play. It helped me understand greatly what was going on. Doris Fletcher's real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of some Harry Jones who had been treated as a patient for a long time in the Pembroke Hospital. That would explain the arm. I actually thought about that earlier, but because Harriet has that same kind of shoulder thing going on. She clearly hated her mother, but used her fame and notoriety to see her while visiting the poor and sick in the East End. I don't know exactly what happened then, but this is how her mother affected her before returning to the theater. And how did she turn into that monstrosity that the leech known as Jonathan Reed finally defeated? Brother infected her? Presence of that vampire in the same hospital where Harry Jones was treated can't be coincidence. I'm convinced he is deeply involved in the vampire plague going on in London right now. I'm also convinced Swansea is his accomplice and that those two are planning something more terrifying than anything the guard has ever faced. Maybe I should take some time to read the old books and manuscripts the guard still possesses to get some answers. It may prove useful. In the meantime, I better send some patrols to investigate about what is occurring at the Pembroke Hospital. Eleven 8/18. Took me 2 days to parse through the dusty registers and books we keep in the vault. I hate losing time like this. The search did prove fruitful for once. I found 2 pages that could be related to our present situation in a copy of William Marshall's memoirs. William Marshall, that... Okay. I took them with me to read more carefully. This creature, Marshall says he fought in 1666, this disaster that aimed to destroy London. It is very similar to what happened with Doris Fletcher's disease. Affection, hate of the living, a desire to see the city ransacked. I have no doubt now that the bloody old leech of William Marshall is behind all this. He is back. Interesting. This could be our greatest accomplishment. If the guard could at last find and destroy that old bastard, I believe what Marshall did in 1666 is exactly what Reed is now trying to do. Did the creature this disaster escape their will? This is why Marshall destroyed him in 1666 and Reed did the same with Doris Fletcher before she became such a creature? I don't know, but those two are clearly working together, and Swansea is helping them. I will immediately give orders to have him arrested and interrogated. As for Reed, I'll destroy the evil beast myself, and then we'll deal with William Marshall and this disaster thing. Everyone will prevail once more.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Interesting. So if their suspicions are correct, is Marshall the one that turned me? There he is. I'll give this going over before I go through that door. Okay. Right. That's where Swansea's gonna be.
It's locked, all right.
Locked. Okay. Oh, no, it's not.
It's locked.
It is the other door. Okay. William Marshall's memoirs. The Brotherhood of St. Paul still finally agreed to meet me in London. They proposed to meet inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. I like the wit and solemnity of these men. What a symbol to choose the place where I defeated this disaster, but also the place where I fell. I agreed to their proposition. There, in the sacred silence of the church and under the eye of God, they respectfully listened to me. They acknowledged my victory against this evil creature, it's not disaster. This Astra, the eater of stars, who only wished to spread death and pestilence all around her. Yeah, gee, that doesn't sound familiar. Since they acknowledged my will to save London in 1666, they heard my request, my burning desire to stop the blood of hate. Their primate proposed to come back and to meet with me, back to me with an answer. The primate of St. Paul's wrote back to me with just the name, the Tier of Angels. According to him, this ancient artifact could heal anything, cleanse any blackened soul, and purify my blood. Blessed by the Lord, I took it. It took me more than 100 years to find and cure the blood of hate, but I may have found it. Soon the rage shall end, soon I may repair the wrong I did and cleanse my failures. Not all I need to do is retrieve the necessary ingredients to create the artifact. The blood of the purest heart mixed with the blood of a king. To find such rare ingredients is not what worries me. The most, for the time, is on my side. It is the last part that worries me. Pure essence of garlic. I'm afraid it will literally hurt like hell when I drink the antidote, but if that's the price to pay to cleanse my soul and correct my mistakes, I am ready to endure this excruciating pain.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. It's locked, all right.
Not the key for that. Was more first. Okay.
It's locked.
Or what? From this side? What? What am I missing? Oh.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Geoffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession. Because I offered you shelter at my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theatre. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
I made a mistake. But what is science if not trial and error? We both know it, Jonathan, we both know it.
What a poor justification for your morbid fascination and thirst for glory.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Yes, Edgar, you're about to die. I won't say it's fair, but I can't say you don't deserve it.
Your words hurt deeply, Jonathan. They come from a friend. I helped you, remember?
Yes, I remember.
The second I saw you in that bar, I knew we would accomplish great things, you and I.
I thought you were a vampire, till you brandished that cross.
You looked so lost when you opened that door. For a few seconds I thought you were there to kill me.
I think we were both afraid.
And now, feel true fear? Is there an afterlife? What will become of me when I'm dead, Dr. Reed?
I really cannot say, Dr. Swansea.
In the end, life betrays us all.
Well, the best choice, but London, 12th May 1912. My most exquisite friend. Everything is now ready for our journey to France. We'll leave from Dover on the 17th. We'll spend the whole summer in Paris. I can't wait to taste all the delicate flavors that wonderful city has to offer. And I can't wait to try them all with you. Music, food, theater, architecture, perfumes, fashion, and you. Oh, what a delight it will be. I already wrote to some of my good artist friends who will be as delighted as me to see you on stage in French theater. Edmund Rostand should be there. I know you like his work very much, and I count on him to introduce us to the magnificent Sarah Bernhard. That would be the greatest achievement of this journey. I can't wait to hold you again in my arms, my sweetest delight, and drink again the source of your divine talent. Key. Small key. Probably something in his office.
We cannot be defeated.
Oh, shut up. And you go to the hospital, see where that key goes to, but am I saying something? No. We only have 5 few more people, but let's head to
So Harriet
Ashford.
Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Steady, boys, we've got one of them!
I don't think so.
You deserve! I'll kill her! Filthy fucking
So, in trying to cure it, he causes whole mess. Upstairs. Maybe?
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
He was mortally wounded. I put an end to his misery.
That is terrible, Jonathan. And yet you did what you must. The poor man.
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
And when I head up there, I'll check on him. Let's go into the West End since that's fairly close. I haven't actually walked onto the guy. Feel free to shoot the wall. It's fine with me. I'm gonna drag these two into it. Oh, three into it. He's got one of those. This way. It'd be interesting to see what would happen if I let him die.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Are you? On the side rooms. Nope.
I heard the Guard of Priwen has installed a new headquarters somewhere nearby. What are they after, I wonder?
Where are you? Is Redgrave.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
There he is. What's in here?
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lance-Bearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
Stop this farce. Marshall never was your maker. I have no idea how you acquired his blood, but I need it now.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lance-Bearer. Craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
You know, better than expected.
Support the equality between men and women.
Alright. Following this road.
Go back home, idiot!
You're the idiots. Went around towns. Whatever.
I hate leeches!
He's dead!
Die. You. Now curiosity. He's dead. Might drop to healthy or stable.
I cannot enter.
How have I not noticed that one before? Yeah. Worry about finding the entrance later if I need it. Heck.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
And this is the morgue. Of course, now we got guard issues in here.
Back in the drive! Kill it all you deserve!
There'll be a way out, I think. That goes outside. Let's see. Would the storage be? I also need to check Swansea's office. Guessing it's in the basement, but doesn't hurt to double check up here. More guard.
Stay back, beast!
No, you're not aiming that at me. Sorry. Buzz off. Fine. Carry you first then.
No! No! Killing bastard!
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
Nick, can I get out of here? That's the wrong room. Bill. Now, quickest route over there. Now, quickest being relative,
I'd
considering
head
these.
back if I were you, sir. As I feel.
Heck. What? I can't hear you. There's a sword in your gut.
Want some of this?
How did I lose the lock? Well.
Better go home, sir. Mike, I'll take you. Oh my God!
Oh, shoot. Should go for the crossbow guy first. Okay. No way into that. Alright, now I'm running the wrong way. There we go. You were supposed to. Whatever.
Lord, give us strength.
Lock, then fire.
Oh Christ! Christ is dead!
Across the bridge.
Die, Vernon! All of you bloody need killing.
Okay. Now for the hard part. Get on him. Straight on him. Don't move up where the crossbow can get to you. No! I think something else is in order here. I'm gonna have to take the chance that those two won't get much worse. Alright. I've got that equates 6,000 experience. Wait enough. Stamina. Whitechapel police have been informed of the mysterious disappearance of Edgar Swansea at age 45, physician. At approximately 6:30 this morning, the police have circulated a description of the missing man: height 6 foot, slender build, fair complexion, gray hair, thin mustache, likely wearing a white surgeon coat, dark flannel vest, Oxford shirting, and leather evening shoes. Dr. Swansea is a familiar figure in Whitechapel District, the current head of the Pembroke Hospital and permanent scientist. He spearheaded the mass admission of patients during the last summer's flu epidemic. Although his methods have been criticized, it should be noted Dr. Swansea did save a substantial number of individuals during the outbreak. His guidance drove the Pembroke to new technical heights, especially due to his enlistment of vanguard talents. His latest recruit was a transfusion pioneer, Dr. Jonathan E. Reed, who had recently returned from the war. The famous surgeon was nowhere to be found to answer our questions. The lack of a head surgeon has led to a drastic drop in operation success at Ray Pembroke. I would advise against entrusting yourself to them until Dr. Swansea is found or a new head emerges to lead the hospital. Oh, great. Shoot. I did not expect that. Everybody died. Once the Pembroke Hospital remained the only steadfast medical facility at the East End of London. This morning, the building irreversibly closed its doors. Local authorities. Oh, shoot. Formal assessment of extreme squalor ordered the facility shut down. Since the hospital helped spread the disease. Pembroke administration has yet to issue a official statement, but extremely low number of people who left the hospital in good health during the last weeks corroborates the theory of mistreatment or medical practice. With a capacity for a little more than 100 patients, the Pembroke was found to be housing more than 300. Some more dead than alive, shoehorned into the rooms and even corridors of the hospital. Several honorable physicians had criticized the establishment prior to this catastrophe for the opacity of its financing arrangements. It is recommended, should you want to maintain your physical well-being, to seek medical help with proven professionals elsewhere. Today's New England article was replaced by a contribution from our reporter Solomon L. Anthem. Your usual EW columnists will resume once redacted according to regulations in effect. Crap. That was the one thing I did not want to happen. And he's gone to anemia. Migraine. Everybody is extremely sick. Well, that honestly sucks. I guess I should have turned them instead. I think we're going to call this an episode. Thank you for watching.